Hi, I'm sitting on the other side of the table today, and you can see behind me is my cabinet that my grandma gave to me. It's special to me. Now, I love art. You guys know I love art so much. And this is a book that I got at an art museum at the Getty, which is a museum in California. And this is called If by Sarah Perry. And look at the picture. If you look closely, what are the leaves made of? So I want you to pay attention to this. This is a book for your imagination. If by Sarah Perry. Now look at these cool ants. They look real. If cats could fly, let's see, how can I move this so that it's, there we go. If cats could fly, look at this. If mice were hair, look closely. I don't think I'd like it if mice were hair. If worms had wheels, what if worms had wheels? Isn't the art in this book awesome? If frogs ate rainbows. If dogs were mountains. If zebras had stars and stripes. If music could be held, what do you think music would feel like in your hands? If ugly were beautiful. If toes were teeth, look at that. If caterpillars were toothpaste. If whales lived in outer space. If leaves were fish. If clouds were spirits. Sometimes I look at clouds and they make shapes. If butterflies were clothes. If lightning made rhinos. If ants could count. If the moon were square. Wouldn't that be interesting? If the moon was square. If spiders could read Braille. Do you know what Braille is? It's when people can't hear with their ears. All of these dots make words, and you have to fill the dots with your hands to understand what it says. And sometimes if you go to an elevator, there'll be those dots, you can fill them. Or I've seen them at the bank before, which makes me think, why would somebody be driving to the think if they can't see, but maybe they have a driver. If hummingbirds told secrets, would you like to know what a hummingbird thinks? If this is the end, then dream up some more. What do you think? If. That is a fun book. One of my favorites. I know I say that every time. Okay, I like reading. Okay, here, I'm so sorry about yesterday and that the one and only Ivan was left out. I'm on page 166. This chapter is called The Story. Today, I'll read 2 to make up for yesterday. I look at the ring layered with fresh sawdust. I look at the skylight, at the half-hidden moon. I just thought of a story, I say. Is it a made-up story or a true one, Ruby asks. True, I say, I hope. Ruby leans against the bars. Her eyes hold the pale moon in them, the way a still pond holds stars. Once upon a time, I say, there was a baby elephant. She was smart and brave, and she needed to go to a place called a zoo. What's a zoo? Ruby asks. A zoo, Ruby, is a place where humans make amends. A good zoo is a place where humans care for animals and keep them safe. Did the baby elephant get to the zoo? Ruby asks softly. I don't answer right away. Yes, I say at last. How did she get there? Ruby asks. She had a friend, I say, a friend who made a promise. Okay, I'm going to read 3 more chapters because these are short. This is called How. It takes a long time, but finally Ruby returns to sleep. Ivan, Bob whispers, yawning. What you said about the zoo, how are you going to do it? Suddenly I feel as if I could sleep for 1,000 days. I don't know, I admit. You'll think of something, Bob says confidently, his voice trailing off as his eyes close. What if I don't? I ask, but Bob is already asleep. His little red feet dance, and I know he's running in his dreams, remembering. Bob and Ruby sleep on. I don't sleep. I think about the promise I made to Stella and the pictures I've made for Ruby, and I remember it all. What they did. We were clinging to our mother, my sister and I, when the humans killed her. They shot my father next. Then they chopped off their hands, their feet, and their heads. Something else to buy. There is a cluttered, musty store near my cage. They sell an ashtray there. It is made from the hand of a gorilla. Another Ivan. When morning comes and the parking lot glimmers with dew, I see the billboard on the highway. There I am, the one and only Ivan, bathed in the pink light of dawn. I look so angry with my furrowed brow and clenched fists. I look the way my father did the day the men came. I am, I suppose, a peaceful sort. Mostly I watch the world go by and think about naps and bananas and yogurt raisins. But inside me, hidden, is another Ivan. He could tear a grown man's limbs off his body. In the flicker of time it takes a snake's tongue to taste the air, he could taste revenge. He is the Ivan on the billboard. I stare at the one and only Ivan at the faded picture of Stella, and I remember George and Mac on their ladders, adding the picture of Ruby to bring new visitors to the Exit 8 Big Top Mall and Video Arcade. I remember the story Ruby told, the one where the villagers came to her rescue. I hear Stella's kind, wise voice. Humans can surprise you sometimes. I look at my fingers coated in red paint, the color of blood, and I know how to keep my promise. Okay, so Ivan has a plan on how he's going to get Ruby to the zoo, and you'll have to listen in to find out how that is, how that works. All right, I'm working on some things for you. I'm not going to check your mail. I'm sending you notes. Now, I haven't written them all. I'm working on doing a few a day, and then I put them in the mail, and then I do a few more the next day in between the other jobs that they have us doing at school. I hope you're doing great. I'll see you tomorrow.